fixa. You ready? Alright, come get you. Welcome back. We got another episode for you today. We're going to be introducing the IronMan technique, combination of some dry brushing and some instrument assisted soft tissue mobilization, also known as Ghu Sha. Getting into what we got going on, I'm going to show you guys some dry brushing techniques that I've been working on myself. And the dry brushing comes in the beginning of the therapy session. Sometimes I might integrate it here and there, but usually I try to do this in the beginning sessions. And the reason I'm doing this is to recalibrate the nerves at the surface of the tissue, the fascia nerves that are also within above the muscles and underneath the top layer skin. So these nerves in particular are going to be either overly sensitive or really numb, or just numb in general. So I call this a recalibration. Recalibrating the nerves at the surface tissue and allowing for there to be a neutral aspect to their experience, because I will be moving into more heavier tissue work, fascial work. The main focus for this client was arms, neck, and back. This client is actually a massage therapist himself, and we pretty much got in contact through another type of job work I was doing, another spot, and came across each other and let him know what I have to offer, and he finally took my offer and came on down, and this is what we see here. He's told me his arms, his back, and his neck are the biggest concerns, so that's pretty much what we're focusing on. So as you can see, I'm really trying to detail the arms as much as possible, and it's really healthy for the arms to receive this type of stimulation, specifically if this is where his troubled areas are. When you first start off learning how to use this dry brushing technique, you definitely have to find the right tool. This particular one is a shower brush. I find it has a good medium bristle, length, width wise. It has worked out for me in a lot of clients, and definitely have thrown off clients in the beginning, just starting off with this. But once they experience just enough of this, it really starts to become a soothing, relaxing experience for the nervous system, the brain, and it complements the tissue nerve relationship that one experiences. And as you can see, if you look more closely into the dry brush work, you can actually see the tissues actually moving around, even and where I'm doing the brushing at. You can see the fascia pulling and tugging and basically going through a stimulation, going through a shift. And that's something that you want to pay attention to when you're doing your work. You want to see how much stretch impact you're making out of it. On this scene, I decided to go a little bit faster since we couldn't really see on the other side the full techniques. So I decided just to speed it up so we can get this video. Will be so lengthy. You will see the general coverage I'm covering. I'm doing a little bit of the same thing on both sides. Just want him to feel symmetrical, feel even. Alright, we've made it to the second part of our IronMan technique, as I call it. We're using the Mohawk RockBlade with the silicone sleeve to do skin tugging. The skin tugging is the second step that I approach the area of tissues that are the complaining issues. The real goal we're focusing on is to be able to work on the adhesions of the fascia tissue and the metabolic waste that's all in a sense sticking together, hence adhesions. So a lot of us are going to experience adhesions. We're going to experience it as a tightness, and we need to, in a sense, learn where and how this is all coming from and how we can go about treating these areas. I found that this technique does wonders, and it's still a great introductory step and stage towards working with your client. So again, arms, neck, back was the request, so that's why you're going to see me focused on these particular areas and be very thorough with my therapy with the assisted soft tissue mobilization. So the forearm was extremely tight. Again, he's a massage therapist. He uses his arms extremely a lot. That was his #1 issue. So I'm going to be very thorough with a lot of skin tugging in these areas to really catch any area that's sticking and really try to open it up, warm it up, get some stretch and plasticity out of his lower arms. So I'm going to go ahead and just let you enjoy some of the skin tugging and some of this incredible music, instrumental tracks, and enjoy. For the arm, you want to have a good amount of space on your tool to really catch the whole forearm, and come with different tugging approaches that align with the shape of your client's arm, hand, forearm. I like to use this 2 different sides, particularly for the arm. I find it to be pretty effective, getting the corners of the arm, also not trying to leaving anything out, looking for all these different areas that could be possibly the main issue, one of the issues. So shifting from different parts of the edges of flat surfaces of the RockBlade Mohawk. Alright, we adjust the headrest. Notice that he was a little bit too high, even though he was still comfortable. You can see he's even more relaxed now that he's found a better headrest position. Always try to gauge your client's breathing, respiration. If they're too silent, sometimes that's a cue that something might be going on too fast, too strong, or they feel a little tense, being themselves, opening up, or even breathing loud, or even making noises while you're working on them. And I try to tell clients this is the best time for them to express what they're feeling instead of holding it in. I feel like that kind of traps the area. So right here in the shoulder girdle, in the shoulder blade area, you can see the tool gets into this shoulder blade, supraspinatus, upper trap really well. It allows us to just start tugging away, moving the arm to get some mobility, get some more range of motion, and also just to get different angles in. And right here in these top corners, I like to use the edge of the Mohawk. It just tugs away at this fascia connection right above those rhomboids, right above the middle trap. A lot of areas that are very dominant, arm dominant for massage therapists. So again, we're still taking our time, skin tugging. We haven't got into any heavier pressures. This is still instrument assisted soft tissue mobilization using the silicone sleeve from Rock Tape, also known as RockBlade, for the certification that I took. Got certified for the basics and advanced course within the RockBlade certification course. In these areas of the costals and the ribs, for someone like his body type, you could actually use the tool and get in between and start focusing on the areas that you get opened up. And I jump back to the brush right here. Just notice that it just seemed like it needed a little bit more tugging, a little bit more brushing, a little bit more stimulation. So we went ahead and jumped back into there to recalibrate that nerve and just really get this area thoroughly stimulated with these surface bristles that are influencing all the surface nerves. So I'm really trying to recalibrate these nerves for him at the surface tissue, because I aim to do some pretty heavier work, some heavier therapy on him. So there goes another dry brushing scene showing you guys how to reinforce it back into a situation. Even if you start off and start working into the instrument assisted tool, you can go back to the brush, kind of finish it up, give it a nice little finesse. For the other side, we are ready. We are ready to see what this other side's about. We're going to go with the same approach, focusing on a lot of the shoulder blade, rhomboid back, and definitely into the arms. So as you can see, getting into the costals, being able to detail it out and find areas that are sticking, areas that are actually stretching. Really differentiate each area out with your tool to learn the landscape, your client's anatomy, being able to watch their respiration as you go about your rhythmic skin tugs with the Mohawk and the silicone attachment to it. And it's really opening him up. His rib cage seems like it has a lot of adhesions, a lot of overall metabolic waste buildup, having him stick. It seems like he's getting a lot more open range of motion in his breathing within his costal areas, attacking his obliques, getting into the TFL, glute medius, glute minimus, everything that connects to this lower back area, into the costals, the lats, even the serratus posteriors, muscles that I'm targeting, looking for to find relief for the client. Take a look as I'm taking advantage of the angle of this Mohawk RockBlade. See how it fit in the right curvature right there at the shoulder blade, at the upper thoracic, and see how I shifted the tool and started doing a different style of tug, of pushing down and pulling at the same time. Some of these techniques you definitely need a lot of experience to be able to get comfortable holding the tool, being able to know how much pull and pressure to be able to influence the surface fascia and the nerves that lie and live underneath that. So the goal of this was to be able to move a lot of metabolic waste and free up adhesions that are not allowing the skin to have enough stretch plasticity for the muscles underneath to feel good and comfortable, if not loose, relaxed. So we're taking off the RockBlade sleeve on the Mohawk. We allowed ourselves to utilize the final stage of the RockBlade techniques, when it pretty much consists of using the tool and its edges and its sides. It has a concave and convex side. We're looking to start off with some introductory strokes and work our way through. So there's a specific recipe, a certain chef's formula, chef's recipe of a specificity and approach that was taught in the curriculum, and pretty much it just deals with two different things: how sensitive and how either spectrum of high or low. And usually, if you were to do a combination of the techniques we're taught, the client's gonna have an overall benefit. So I developed this RockBlade technique, or this instrument assisted technique, or this Ghu Sha technique, to have a little bit of everything in a way where it can be comfortable enough for the client to be able to experience an instrument used on them and not freak out so crazy. So the follow-up session definitely could probably go a little bit more, a little bit more deep, a little bit more intense. But this was his first time experiencing this overall technique, and I think he definitely was responding to it really well. You can tell he's very relaxed. The areas that he was requesting or being serviced or focusing on, these areas of fascia tissue, the dense connective tissue. A lot of this stuff is not easy to work with as a massage therapist. Just putting plain oil and lotion and working your hands through. I've had to get to a point where I had to learn about this instruments and fascia adhesions and scar tissue, metabolic waste buildup, and just the whole process. It seems like this was an under-taught subject in the Western medical associations, along with even the massage therapy programs. Definitely are not influencing and mentioning it enough, even though we had enough curriculum that definitely gave us that insight. It's just things have to be valued at a certain extent in order for you to actually implement it into your training or your massage sessions with your clients. So from my personal experience, this has been a great benefit to my massage therapy practice, manual therapy practice, lymphatic drainage practice, and just reinforces the tools. Tools, I believe, are very beneficial. Definitely if they're being custom made and they're clean and safe to be able to work, exactly what you're doing, have enough hours where you've learned how to work the tools to feel comfortable utilizing the techniques that you were taught upon different body types, because there's going to be different body types, different skin types. Not everybody's body and skin is going to be smooth, let alone moisture. People sweat, people have oily skin, some people have hairy back. You're going to come across different landmarks and different body types. So definitely have to get your experience with adjusting. Sometimes you may have to use lotion, certain type of oil. A lot of things can definitely help you in certain areas, even waxes and hot sauce that RockBlade, Rock Tape also recommends. That stuff is pretty good too. So definitely, I like to start out doing dry. The instructor that I got certified for really taught us the dry version, and if needed, if the client definitely is a little bit too dry. It seems like they're sticking. The blade is sticking too much. You may want to add a little bit of the hot sauce or the rock sauce. You know, some sort of light layer of lotion, massage lotion, even a little bit of oil. A lot of that works through. So we're showing you the thoroughness in how we use the tool, and the formula has different speeds and different pressures that it gets into. But the sequence definitely goes in a fluid fashion. I'm working it from the neck down to the back in the shoulder blades, back into the arms, but specifically really trying to detail his arms and hands, all the areas that he himself overworks as a therapist and rarely gets anybody to work on. So we're really putting this one for the books. Anybody that needs some real thorough hand forearm work, if you're a labor smith, if you got some hard working jobs you do, this is the type of massage for you. This is the type of therapy for you. This is the type of manual therapy assisted soft tissue mobilization therapy for you. So we're moving in. I'm definitely got to the other side finally, and we're gonna show what it looks like in a different viewpoint. And the client looks extremely relaxed at this point, very confident in what I'm doing for him. And this is kind of where you want them to be, just laying back, relaxed, showing respiration, showing relaxation, and definitely showing improvement. Some of the benefits of instrument assisted soft tissue mobilization: definitely over scar tissue, definitely improves and moves metabolic waste buildup, definitely improves range of motion, mobility, stretch from the surface and areas you're working with around it, allowing the muscles to feel it like it has more space to move. In return, your muscles will have more new space or newfound range of motion. Yet our muscles are consistently utilizing energy, and once it utilizes energy, it turns into a waste byproduct. These waste byproducts are almost like sediments and insoluble salts in a sense. You know, there's acids, you know, metabolic waste from carbonic acids, lactic acids, uric acids, and just all these different acids that are out here that each cell is releasing. If the body is 12 organ systems, and we have them integrated all throughout our body, and that's a lot of cells demanding energy, let alone creating its own waste. It's waste byproduct. So that waste byproduct is known as metabolic waste. And in total, we need to focus on this metabolic waste in our bodies and how we need to do our self-massage routines, our self-therapy routines, in a sense like hygienic routine, very similar to brushing your teeth. So how many times you brush your teeth? Probably twice a day, and usually it's in the morning and before you go to bed. So with the body and the maintenance, definitely recommend a lot of my clients to do self-massage with the foam roller in the morning before they hit the door, before they leave, and at nighttime before they finish up. So showing you another side, another look on the left side. Definitely want to show this left side look for everyone to just to see what it is to stand on the other side and do the technique. So make sure I added both sides into my edit. It could definitely been shorter yet didn't want to short everybody who definitely enjoys seeing a lot of this technique and approach, and possibly even stances when it comes down to approaching the clients and the different body types and features on their body types that you may come across. So this is the part where you definitely got to be skilled, knowing your bony landmarks, pushing through. This is more on the deeper stroke of the push, pushing down, being steady, going a lot slower. Definitely different tempo for the nervous system to pick up. And I'm literally looking to break any adhesion that's still somewhat sticking for the client on both sides, for the client's tissue, fascia adhesion buildup. Supporting the RockBlade with the left hand, just so I can be as stable as possible. Constantly adjusting the client's arm body position. Notice I flipped the RockBlade to its sharper side, convex and concave. Probably the concave would probably be this side. Double check for that, but either way, this is the side that has more of the sharper angle on the blade. The other sides are more rounded, still allows you to do a lot of thorough work. This side seems to really dig in and stick more once you've warmed up the tissue for the client. So I like to use that in certain areas where it really needs a little bit more thoroughness. So the tricep arms was the request, so this is what we're mainly focusing on breaking up all these adhesions in the forearm, arm, tricep, shoulder girdle, back, neck, all this area, complementary. Stabilizing, holding the arm, giving it a nice stretch as I pass the blade for that particular stroke. Working the hands. The hands love this type of therapy on them for some reason, and just can't get enough of it. A lot of dense connective tissue responds really well with the stimulus of these tools. Definitely your hands has a similar approach. It's different, and the brain responds to different tools. The hands working the tools and the individual receiving and experiencing the fluidness and the effectiveness and the pressures and the technique within the individual's approach. So at the end, we're working on the flushing, the drainage part, taking it to the lymphatic duct areas. A lot of the major lymphatic ducts are in the joint areas. You can see we're taking it to the lymphatic joint areas, and we're giving it a nice deportment, percussion, concussion to start that drainage process. Showing you the other side, just another angle, another clip, just so we can make sure you guys see that we did both sides thoroughly. sequence of the IronMan technique, where I implement my Swedish massage therapy techniques on the body, the back, neck, arms, request. For some reason, this becomes more enjoyable right after the RockBlade or Ghu Sha instrument assisted technique. This becomes a lot more enjoyable, and the tissues respond so much faster, open up and just allow me to push through and move all this metabolic waste that's just still sitting there, and then take it to its lymphatic drainage points right at the hip area, bringing it down. There it is. Some thumb knees, some thumb stripping, getting more deep now into the tissues. We finally worked plenty of surface unmelanated fascia. We really want him to feel this pressure now as we gradually increase it and work through his body's bony landmarks, anatomical, muscular fascia, and lymphatic areas. Working the routine, your effleurage into your thumb knees, your kneading. So I'm gradually increasing the pressure with every stroke. Slowly but surely, he's feeling it. You can see his body responding, doing a lot of good stripping into the palm pressing, taking my time, feeling out the Golgi sensors and see how they're responding to this pressure. Being very thorough, shoulder girdle neck column. Looking for any areas that are tight, any areas that are not giving us range of motion, not allowing it to pass through into the occipitals, levator scap, upper traps, neck extensor, cervical spine muscles. Opening up, stimulating these areas for him to fully feel that sensation, as I would call it. Back to the palm presses, stripping through, palm thumb kneading, stripping through. Definitely need a good amount of experience to get comfortable, and not everyone's shoulder neck column can allow you to be able to move in such a fluid, progressive manner. Doing circular kneads with fingers, thumbs, the hands, allowing the body to fully feel it. Making sure you're in a split squat stance, lean forward just enough, breathing through, having your client breathe through, and slowly stripping through with the pressure. therapist requesting assistance from another therapist, definitely needed. For every 20 hours of massage therapy work you do, it is recommended for you to receive massage therapy techniques for the areas that you feel exhausted, for areas you feel overworked, or as an overall general cleanup, maintenance, but the focus areas are highly requested. So definitely helping him out, helping him get to that next level of his career and his work life and his everyday life. Our bodies go through a lot. We have to go through within every job, every type of business, or every type of family function and events we go through. So the body's constantly going through these tight, sore, ache, sharp pain, different type of nerve pain and numbness and sensations that we come across. These are all, in the sense of language, communication for us to learn ourselves more and to, in a sense, perceive what we've been doing and what we haven't been doing enough on the maintenance side for us to receive the proper therapies that we need, self therapies in a sense. Doing some good stripping, doing some good full hand needs, being thorough, utilizing the thumb at the same time. We're using the palm, fingers, palm, switching it around. I like to stabilize and get into the upper shoulder area, support the shoulder blade, and start getting some heavier palm presses through the back spine into the shoulder blade, stripping it down and through. A little bit more of an advanced Swedish technique, yet I still make it connect and flow real smooth and symmetrical. I feel like they connect. Get into the anterior deltoid, collarbone, scapulae areas of the client, into the bicep, down through the shoulder, into the bicep, just in the arm, back into the tricep, back into the shoulder blade, back into the shoulder vertebral column, supporting that, palm pressing through shoulder blade into the tricep and stripping, gripping through. Sure you have thorough amount of lotion. I use lotion for the arms, so I have my bottles ready to go to give me either or, and I'm really focusing on the tissues and how they're responding to this pressure, let alone how the client is responding to their breathing, if they're guarding, if they're flinching. So far so good. Got some good steady pressure on them. We finally made it to a heavier palm press in the Swedish routine. Alright, excuse the camera angles. Here it is more of a thorough look of what it looks like from a better camera angle and body position. Putting this in, being thorough with the triceps. This was the #1 request: arms, neck, and back. Right here at this point, I fully locked down his trigger points in his tricep long head, triceps brachii. He definitely has flinched multiple times in these areas, and I know these areas need to be addressed for him. A lot of shoulder extension as a massage therapist. Finding these trigger points at the very bottom, near the insertion points, stripping them to the origins, using the massage lotion to do the work. And right here, we're getting into a little bit of the deep tissue work. We're finally getting into that, using my elbow, a very strong connection and sensitivity with my forearm elbow, be able to get into these areas and just start working them out. Just start feeling the knots, feeling the knots, and doing the trigger point therapy that unlocks them. Just with a slight good amount of pressure, some micro stretching, nice pinning it down and stripping it. This advanced trigger point technique that I do in the deep tissue sequence for his tricep and forearm. And this stuff definitely hurts, and good thing we've numbed down a lot of his surface nerve pressure and fascial fluids for him to be able to finally experience these heavier pressures. It's something I definitely recommend to do at the very end. We're just trying to be thorough with the whole arm, neck, and back connection. I think we finally finished up his arm with the deep tissue technique, and we are introducing the Deep Muscle Stimulator massage therapy gun. And the Deep Muscle Stimulator does percussion concussion therapy, very similar to Potment as they teach you in massage school. Yet I found this tool to be very effective therapeutically at the end of my sessions, sometimes in the beginning for certain clients. Yet it does need a folding of towels in order for you to find the right buffer for this tool to give a complementary stimulus of percussion and concussion therapies at the very end. So definitely a lot of heavy duty work we've put in already, and just enough percussion concussion from the Deep Muscle Stimulator takes the client over the top, takes the tissues over the top, resets all these nerves, breaks up all these adhesions, opens up the fascia, allows that metabolic waste to flow, giving him more stretch and plasticity, and he's going to be able to feel his arm in a whole new way. Constantly have to readjust this towel. The folds definitely have an impact. You see I'm constantly readjusting the headrest for him to find different levels of comfort. Anytime you see your client flinching, try to readjust the feeling. The head definitely likes to move in different positions, not just one position the whole time. I've noticed clients tend to go lower, medium, some even high, depending on, you know, their body type and what they're feeling at the current time. So getting back to the forearm flexors of the arm. Definitely stimulating and being thorough in these areas. It feels so amazing being able to finish up the work like this. The second look here is for the body, the extensors, and a lot of the rib cage serratus posterior. A lot of these areas for the extensor and the back part, even to the hip. We're going to make sure we focus on this as well. Make sure we're thorough with our final stimulus for our clients' back and body. Another thing to mention about the Deep Muscle Stimulator, it's not cheap tool. It's definitely high quality stainless steel, plugs into the wall. It runs $3,000 brand new. You can find some used for about $1,000 to $1,500, $2,000 something. You know, it just depends on the year and model. They make different models, makes with the plugs. There's even different heads that can take off, adjustable. So showing you the other side of our work. Definitely want to be thorough. So we're covering the body symmetrically left and right with our work. So you do small circles and you do strips. That's how I found benefits with using the Deep Muscle Stimulator. Not necessarily staying in one spot too long since it's so intense. You kind of want to keep it moving. Just find a fluid pattern that you can be able to color the anatomy and go through even bony landmarks, but the buffering, definitely the client still enjoys it. There's some areas you definitely want to do too much. I don't really do the middle of the spine, but if I'm just going to pass it through, there's a certain way of technique of doing that. So we're all done with the scene here with the IronMan technique, and we're having the client finally just feel good. So we're going to see his reactions. Yeah, so definitely at the end the client was very shocked, amazed. You can see he's gesturing at the Deep Muscle Stimulator and saying that definitely was very intense. Felt like there was, like he was the construction site. You know, feel like they were doing construction on it. That's what he said. I let him know the price, and he was pretty surprised. And just, this is his first time ever experiencing that. You know, as a therapist, you definitely, you know, are proud to be able to see what other therapists are doing, let alone experience it. And it definitely goes a long way to hire somebody, another therapist, to work with you and see where his passion, where their passion may be at. You never know what they may be able to offer you. So give another therapist a shot. If not, give me a shot. Might be able to help you out. We just opened up a new facility in Valley Village in California, here in Southern California. If you guys are looking for a spot to be able to do get some therapeutic work, definitely doing some amazing work. So I'll be showing some of that highlight videos, or pretty much showing you going live on all my different social medias in order for people to see the new shop, the new office we got going for clients that come on down. If not, we're going to be doing still a lot of our YouTube channel videos at our new shop in order for us to show you guys a more professional look.